This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
The 2024 NBA Draft will be a two-night event. The first round of the draft is set for June 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the second round of the draft will take place on June 27th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. The Toronto Raptors will have two picks in this year's draft. They will have number 19 via the Indiana Pacers and number 31 via the Detroit Pistons. Now, there was an interesting tidbit thrown out there the other day by Sam Bianchini of The Athletic. He put out his latest mock draft for The Athletic, and before getting into it, he did mention this, saying there is also significant expectation league-wide that Toronto could command a serious overnight offer for its number 31 pick from a team looking to jump to the front of Thursday's line and select its top remaining player, close quote. So not sure how serious the overnight offer would be, but still interesting nonetheless to monitor as we get closer to draft night. But guys, in this one, I wanted to tell you my top 5 choices as of today for the Toronto Raptors at number 19 and then number 31. So we are going to talk about the draft in this one. Do me a solid, guys. Hit a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. I know I have been MIA with Raptors content, but that is going to change because there's a whole lot more to talk about as we get closer to the draft. It's been a quiet last couple of weeks. So yeah, in this one, we're going to be talking the draft. So before I get into my top 5, I do want to address Zach Edey out of Purdue because he's a very interesting name right now. A lot of Raptors fans talking about him. One of the more intriguing prospects in this year's draft. He was sporting a Raptors jersey at the OVO Athletic Center on Tuesday as he went through a draft workout with the Raptors. And you look at Edey, guys, you know, he's Canadian. He's got all this buzz. Could the Raptors take Edey with their number 19 pick? I mean, it is a possibility. As you look at Edey, 7'4" big man. He averaged 24.9 points, 12.2 rebounds, 2.2 blocks, and 2.1 assists per game while shooting a very efficient 62.5% from the field. Edey showed off his versatility. He was dominant on the court. He clinched his second straight Player of the Year award while leading the Boilermakers to the NCAA championship game. And Edey talked about the possibility of getting drafted by the Raptors after his workout, saying obviously getting drafted anywhere would be a blessing, but drafted by Toronto, it's the team you grew up watching. It's a team all my buddies are watching, my family watch. It'd be really cool. Now, the biggest question with Edey is if he can develop any sort of jump shot, which is what a modern big needs. Being enough of a perimeter spacing threat, if Edey is able to get his jump shot rolling and develops a jump shot, it would just open up the floor a lot more and he would be a lot more playable. And it would also help Edey become more effective off the pick and roll. He did shoot it well in the NBA Draft Combine in Chicago last month, but it's just a draft combine. I think it's boom or bust with Edey, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raptors take him at number 19, but my take is I wouldn't take Edey at 19. I would only take him at 31. So I would not use the first round pick on Edey. I would only take Edey if he somehow falls to 31, which I know is very unlikely at this point, as I've seen Edey go as high as the late lottery in some of these mock drafts. All right, here are my 5 as of today, in no particular order. First, going to start with Yves Missi out of Baylor. 7-footer, 7'5" wingspan. He blocks shots well. He made the Big 12 all-defense team as a freshman. He averaged 10.7 points per game on 61% shooting from the field. He looks like a competent defensive starting center. Missy started in 32 games. And, you know, he's such an intriguing big. He's 20 years old. He has the tools that can make him an elite shot blocker and rim runner in the NBA. Overall, he's got nice high upside, and he could end up being a huge get for a Raptors team that needs front court depth, and they could use a developmental big right now. So despite being relatively inexperienced, Missy, former 5-star recruit, he showed rapid development at Baylor, and it would present an opportunity for significant growth with the Raptors franchise. So I like Missy out of Baylor. Next, kel'el out of Indiana. Look at Ware's profile. You know, he's got great length, size. He shot at 42.5% from deep this past season. He would be a nice fit alongside Scotty Barnes. And during his 2023-2024 season, he averaged 15.9 points, 9.9 rebounds, 1.9 blocks, 1.5 assists, 60.9% shooting from the field. And again, the 42.5% shooting from 3. I know it was on low volume, but it's something that you gotta, you know, take account for here. He more than doubled his averages from his freshman year at Oregon. So he had a mini leap at Indiana. And he appears to be one of the most athletic bigs in the draft, where adding more strength will be important as he grows into his frame, but he's an enticing big man prospect, so I like Ware. Next, I like Bub Carrington of Pittsburgh. The Raptors need shot creators, and Bub is one of them. Carrington finished his lone collegiate season, averaging 13.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists to just 1.9 turnovers per game. He shot a 41% from the field and 32% from three. He closed the season especially strong, averaging 18.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game while shooting 48% from three over his last 6 games. He's yet to turn 19. He's 6'5" with long arms. And his outstanding shooting numbers really popped out at the Combine in Chicago. So I think Bub's a very, very intriguing prospect here. He scored in double digits 22 times this past season. The Raptors need a guy like this. I think Carrington has a lot of upside. I like him a lot. Now, before we continue on with this video, guys, I quickly want to shout out the sponsor of today's video, BetUS. BetUS is the #1 online sports book in which they are currently offering a 125% deposit match up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. I've been using BetUS all playoffs long. They're also giving away $125 in free play. The first 5 people to DM their account to me showing their account number on X will receive $25 in free play. You're able to use them in Canada. BetUS, awesome sports book. And guys, if you sign up with BetUS, it helps support the channel, so it is a win-win situation. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
All right, next, Isaiah Collier of USC. I think he could be a potential steal, somebody who falls, because right now his draft range is all over the place. He's got playmaking, size. He can be a disruptive force. He's an offensive spark plug that the Raptors could use. He would add some nice guard depth for the Raptors. In his one college season, Collier put up 16.3 points, 4.3 assists, and 2.9 rebounds per game on 33.8% shooting from 3. He also averaged 5.8 free throw attempts, and after returning from a midseason right hand injury, he put up 31 foul shots over his next 2 outings. So he likes to get downhill. He likes to attack. He could take over a game. I think his strengths are the ability to finish at the rim and push the ball in transition. Tremendous potential at just 19 years old. And then finally here to round up my 5 at number 19, Keyshawn George out of Miami. The Raptors were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the NBA this past season. George, 6'8". He's a nice, oversized, long arm wing. He made 41% of his 3-point attempts at Miami. He grew 9 inches in 5 years. His best skill is the fact that, he's able to shoot it. He's proficient at both pull-up jumpers and catching and shooting. His shooting alone would be a major boost for the Raptors. Now, George's defense will have to improve as he continues to get, adjusted to his new size and frame. But obviously the Raptors have time to let George develop. So I know Keyshawn George was recently projected in ESPN's latest mock draft to go to Toronto. So those are my 5 and number 19. All right, here are my top 5 in no particular order at number 31 as of today for the Raptors. So I'll take Zach Edey. Like I said, you take a chance with him. Raptors need a young big man. It's highly unlikely that he's going to still be here. But hey, if there's a chance he falls, Raptors beginning the second round with a bang drafting Edey, I'd be okay with that. Next, I like Baylor Shireman a lot out of Creighton. His shot-making ability is impressive. He could be a nice steal. I mean, this is a guy who shot between 36% and 47% from 3 on at least 5 threes per game over his last 4 years. And I think at number 31, you want to take a proven guy who is going to contribute. I also like Bobby Klitman. He spent this past season with MBL. He's a 6'10" forward, demonstrating his ability to play and excel against seasoned professionals. So I like that he has that under his belt before coming into the NBA. Next, I got Ulrich Chomsky, international forward. I mean, his game is extremely raw. He's a long-term project who has a chance to really be special on the defensive side. And, this is the type of player I can see the Raptors draft, especially in the second round. They have time to develop raw guys like this who are a couple years away. So, yeah, I like Chomsky. Ryan Dunn of Virginia. He boasts a 7'1" wingspan, has great instincts, IQ, and athleticism. He can be a solid lockdown wing. He was extremely active on that side of the floor in his sophomore season. He recorded 2.3 blocks and 1.3 steals in just 27.5 minutes. I like those numbers. He's a great defensive prospect, and I think he's one of the better defensive prospects in this year's draft. And then finally here, Jonathan Mobo of San Francisco. I like this guy, and if the Raptors want to take a chance on him, this would be the spot to do so. He's a versatile big, huge 7'2" wingspan. He's got the ability to score around the rim. He distributes the ball and defends well, both in space and at the rim. So he would round out my 5 here. So I know there's a lot there, guys, but kind of just wanted to give you my thinking of who I would like to see the Raptors take at 19 and 31, just under 3 weeks away until the NBA draft. But we're starting to get a good idea of maybe who the Raptors could target with these picks. So let me know down below who you're eyeing for the Raptors at number 19 and 31. You know, some of your favorite draft targets. Guys, that is going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Lucas signing off. Drop a like and subscribe before you get out of here. I will catch you all again in the next video.